Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. We've got 3 card piles in front of you. You're gonna go with the one that you feel most gravitated towards. I'll give you 10 seconds to choose, but please also feel free to pause the video. Okay, so if you were gravitated towards group 1, I will be doing the extended reading through my Patreon platform. You can find the link down below in the pinned comment. That reading is going to look on what's coming next between you two. This will be a 3-section spread. Please feel free to tap forward, but I will also speed up the recording. Okay, so section 1 is going to talk about what they think of you, okay? Or what do they think about when it comes to you? Okay. So it looks like a lot of inner turmoil, okay, with your person. Lots of inner turmoil. Lots of sadness. But there's a lot of like restraint, okay? So I feel like when your person's thinking about you, they're thinking it's not really the most positive, okay, in the sense for that person. These cards would indicate feeling like being, attacked by thoughts, but it's like the thoughts, there's this trying to think positively, but I feel like I'm bombarded with negative thoughts regarding you. And there is a lot of thoughts, okay? So like I'm gonna really speak to that here with these cards. It's an overabundant amount of thoughts. And again, these thoughts are just not working for this person. So like if you are watching and you resonate with the fact that, this person hasn't confessed anything to you, like it would be their thoughts that are stopping them. They think a lot about like what it would be like to be on a romantic date with you or have, a moment with you that's more romantic in nature, get to know you. This is really about intimacy, okay? Being alone, finding out who you are, like just studying you. I feel like they think a lot about what you're like, what you would be like, how you would react to them. What would you say to this? What would you say to that? It's just, there's a lot of overstimulation with these thoughts. How would you react to them if they courted you? What would you be like on a date? I do feel like with this card, this also amplifies the thoughts because I feel like they're being triggered. Their thoughts are being triggered through music. But I also feel like, they would resonate with, their thoughts of you could literally create a masterpiece, musically. This is a little sarcasm coming through here. But what also it would be like to make music with you. And I'm using that very symbolically as well too, because, this has harmony, the word harmony on it. Like what would it be like to harmonize with you, be on good terms, make music with you. That can even be, intimately as well too. There could be, just because I do want to put it out there could be a lot of thoughts as to, for some of you, like making some music about you, wanting to journal it out. I wouldn't be surprised if we have like out of the thousands that are going to watch this, one person, your person, who could be literally like on this card. They own a musical instrument and, they're trying to get their thoughts out that way. But let's be real though, great music, it was written through people going through things, so it's just like music is very connected with their thoughts, but I also feel like they could be numbing their thoughts with music, but they also could be finding that their thoughts get triggered when they hear particular music that obviously reminds them of you or how they feel about you. There's also a lot of thoughts of restraint, feeling restraint. That Eight of Swords, it's a card of restraint. But they could also feel like victimized by their thoughts, you know? Being attacked by their thoughts. They don't know how to escape their thoughts of you. They do judge themselves, you know, when they think of you. That could be for a few of you. There could be an understanding of why that is. But listen, they could be also sizing you up, you know, through their thoughts. Like, again, what is this person like? What do they like to eat? Would they react to that? There is an overstimulation of thoughts. And if this person is around you, but hasn't really approached you, I could see why they would be, you know, staying away, because their thoughts they just don't do them any justice, okay? They're very negative, and this would be like a person who is maybe a little too shy or coming across as super nervous, because they're really overstimulated in thinking of how you're gonna react to them, okay? Like they're very concerned about that. And again, you know, their thoughts are with the Five of Cups. I'm getting this like, I'm sad. I'm not happy. I'm not feeling good. You know, those are feelings, but they first start as thoughts. So they could find at times like, again, victimized by their thoughts of you. But also, you know, overtaken by them. So, man, I don't really envy this person that you're speaking about, because it's hard to push away. It's hard to stop. They're not finding it like it's easy for them to stop. They're just extremely curious about you as well too, with that Judgment card. Like a lot of overanalyzing about you. Lots of overanalyzing. Like nitty gritty details, like just really about you, like what you're like, what you like, who are you with, you know, what is your family like? Like it's just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, if you look at these three cards, I mean, the Judgment card itself, it's an awakening card. It can be like, even with that angel, he's, you know, you're not gonna be able to not hear him. Okay. So it almost could feel like he has this entity inside his mind that just won't shut up about you. Okay. Or, you know, allow him to breathe. Hence why he could feel like he's being just bombarded and swarmed with thoughts, or this person could just be, feeling like at times they just don't know what to do about it. But this is very serious, okay, with thoughts. The thoughts section of this group is, and it could cause them, you know, because of these types of thoughts they're having, it could cause them to act, honestly, like not right or even stupid at times. There's a lot of self-doubt around you. But it could also make them feel like they just don't trust this, because maybe for the first time, this has been so strong. It's new territory. They don't know what to do about it, so they kind of stay away. Okay. I really wouldn't be surprised with this group if your person, you know, is not voluntarily coming directly at you. This would be a state of weakness when it comes to thoughts. Like it's weak. It's not, there's no strength here with, you know, navigating or understanding, just like how this person here is tied up. I feel like they're caught up, tied up with their thoughts of you. And this could be also what's choosing or making them choose to turn their back. Okay. You see this guy on the card? He's got a shot here with the Two Cups. He still has a foot in this game with you, but he's choosing to turn his back. and really think about, what has went wrong, or, I feel like I'm focused on the wrong thing with this person that you're inquiring about. And it would be kind of interesting too, if like there are even people here who resonate with the fact that there's been something, something has happened. I don't know if there was like a fight, or if this person's, spoke out of line towards you, or you spoke out of line to them, or there was something that went wrong. If something went wrong, but it wasn't that to be that serious, this person wouldn't look at it like that. They would look at it like it would be horrendous. Hence why, they're choosing to turn their back. Like maybe they think it's over, maybe it's done with you. There's no coming back from this. Hands are tied type of thing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I could talk about this spread honestly for hours. That is the most horrendous spread I've ever seen for, what someone's thinking about when it comes to you. Okay. Very caught up. Okay. What do they feel about you? Group 1, what is happening here? Okay. I think with the Temperance card, they like the connection, okay? They like the connection with you. It feels good. It feels right. At times, it feels like it's almost out of this world. It's not really, dense at whatsoever. The Temperance, it's not going to be dense, okay? It's going to be, you got 1 foot. This angel has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. You've kind of given them an escape, or you've taken them out of, reality, which gives me as the reader the idea of the connection. And it's dreamy. It's dreamy. It's beautiful. But I would say when it comes to how this person feels about you, they definitely feel like they need to digest this connection in moderation. Okay. Temperance is a moderation card. Sometimes it is kind of hard to be around you, and that could look like them getting choked up, being super nervous, or just really like feeling out of control. And the devil speaks to that. Okay. So there is a lot of obsession with you. Like I just feel like I'm obsessed, in every way. Very much so, intimately. Feels like sometimes it overtakes them. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel that. I also feel in the same breath, I'm cautious, okay? Because it's so overpowering, I may even not trust it. I may not even trust it at times. You come across as a lot to them. Just an energy. And there's also this, they're telling me, I'm not even looking at the cards anymore. They're also telling me that for some of you, there's this unpredictableness with you. At times, just it doesn't sit well with them. I don't know if you're unreadable. I don't know if it's like you do things that are just like you're hot, you're cold. This sometimes can really make them not trust you. It can make them feel like cautious. I'm going to say something kind of funny too, and I'm going to put it out there for some of you. They may feel like this is a temptation, and, it's kind of has the energy of the devil over it. Like they may actually look at it like that, like I'm being tested, or this is like honestly demonic. Like my feelings for this person, my feelings for you. There's an appetite. I just heard that word, an appetite for you. That is just, it can be destructible for them. It can feel destructible at times. And then they kind of equate that to like not being healthy, something's not healthy. And, the devil card is an addiction card. Now, with the Queen of Wands, they could really like your energy. It kind of comes across as, you know, independent, free-spirited. You kind of also have this way about, like, you just don't give a F about nothing. You know, like, you just give that impression, like, you just, I'm here, I'm me. It is what it is, you know, like, and I did just hear for some of you, very opposite of them. Indeed, very opposite of them. They get very caught up with being liked, maybe at times, or, you know, how they come across. They're very watchful of that, where you're just like, this is me, you know? But it's the independent spirit, you know? Very beautiful. You are very beautiful, very handsome, if you're a man watching. You know, they could really like your style. Queen of Wands will dress her ass off, okay? Really bold, you know, but very SCXY too, okay? Now with the text message, for some of you, this could be something you understand. Maybe there's been some communication that has went down the wrong way, or maybe your, you know, communication style is a little too direct. Or this could be, when we're talking about their feelings, you know, they understand they need to do more of this, or, you know, they think about that, you know, how do they feel about communicating with you? How would you react to it? Or just, we're talking about feelings. So it's not about thinking, it's about feeling. How do I feel about communicating with this person? But they could be really scared too. You know, that is a feeling. Fear is a feeling. They could be very afraid of, you know, opening this up with you, or, like, again, you know, if it's been a while, or there's been an issue or a fight, like, how would you react? But it could also be that they're not, for some of you, I'm going to say this. I don't know that they really like the way you communicate. Okay. I think there's a terrifiedness. I don't know if that's a word. Now, remember, I'm not judging you. You know, like, how people feel is none of your business. That's something to do with them. But there is something around communication. They feel, there's a lot of feeling around some sort of communication, either that went down, or if it's that they haven't, they don't know how to. They think and feel a lot about, you know, how to express oneself. And then we've got the card of surrender, letting go, release, give up, and patience. There's a lot of feelings of this. Maybe there has already been a letting go. Maybe they give up on you, and they feel like, honestly, crap for it, you know, because he has his head turned, he has his, like, hood on. It looks like he's kind of trying to hide himself. He's embarrassed about it. Maybe this person's thinking a lot about, you know, what they did, their lack of, for not trying so hard, or, you know, there could be a lot of feelings on, should I have given more patience, or should I be more patient with this? This is more of an action card. So I think there's a lot of feelings that are being felt with this person as to what type of action to take here, you know? But they're considering also you too. So they consider how they would feel with this action, but also how you felt with this action. So if they've already taken an action, or if they want to take an action, like, how would, you know, there's fear here. It's a main feeling of fear, but it's also a main feeling of embarrassment if they did give up. If they gave up too soon, or they gave up, or they released you, or they didn't fight as hard or act, you know, accordingly. There's these two feelings: embarrassment if it's already happened, and then fear if it hasn't happened. Okay, let's see what they plan about you. Now, remember, a plan is a plan, okay? You're going to have to catch the extended to see what will happen next between you. This is just a plan. The idea of a plan, You know, if it was a perfect world, what would happen? So we've got proposal, we've got love, offer, engagement, agreement, wish come true, and then we've got the player, charming, manipulative, karmic, being tested. Let me look at these cards and see what the plan would be. Again, we've got a lot of fear around this plan, a lot of exhaustion. This is also a card of giving up. So maybe for some of you, they have given up already, or, you know, you have not really been on speaking terms for a while. This would be, you know, something you would understand. Now, this is a very interesting energy because I do feel like with the Knight of Wands, there's this wanting to be adventurous. And that could be with respect to the plan, like no holds bar, okay? Like just going for it, taking a risk. It reminds me of those those types of energies when you want to just send something and you just have to just and send just to do it, because you know if you think about it too hard, you just won't, okay? But then I've also got the other energy of just really being too scared or worried about, with the Three of Swords, rejection, or honestly, this card, you know, becoming something other than what they've been. I am hearing off the market. And then if you look at these two cards at the bottom, they're also very different from each other. We've got proposal and then we've got player. So I think for a lot of you, they could be very worried with their plans of, you know, what this will mean for them in their life. You know, they would be, you know, making a move. They would be making a love offer, and then they know that they cannot, they'd have to say goodbye to this, okay? And it's not necessarily, you know, to be with other people. It could just be a death of who they were, because see, you make them very nervous. You make them feel like they have to be different. So it's not even about being off the market in the sense of just other people. It's that this is going to be a new change. This is going to be like death of the old self and moving into something a little bit more adventurous, to put it lightly. You do make them feel like that. You make them feel like this would be something new, like new territory. Maybe they never felt like this before. So if they were to do it, it would be like, again, new. But there is this plan, I feel like, to scoop you up and make you theirs, and, you know, vice versa. But they understand at the same time that the old them would have to go. See, because regardless if you guys been on speaking terms or not, or if you've even gotten to know each other, they know innately they have to be a different version of themselves to be with you. They just know it. Either that, or it's like taking a chance on vulnerability. Because see, with you, if you ever did anything to them, it would crush them. It would crush their soul. There are people who can go with people and get into connections with them and just not feel as much. So if the person left them, they'd be like, oh, well, next. That's not the case here. So in a perfect world, the plan would be to offer you something. Step up to the plate, make their wish come true, because you definitely are their wish. You are definitely a wishes come true, okay? A wish come true. They do, in the depth of their soul, want to be exclusive with you, be with you, experience that. But this would be a major overhaul. This can't just be something they do on a whim, or like without being thought out. they want to go for it, but it's new territory. So yeah, definitely wants to make a love offer, but knows that they have to come in a different way about it. They can't approach you with the same silly stuff that they've been approaching other people with. They have to be different, but there is hesitation because I feel like they don't want to break their heart, and they also don't want to break your heart. They don't really want to be on bad terms with you. They would never want any of that, but they know somehow that it's like the ball's in their court, or they're like the one that has to lead this. So it feels like a lot of pressure, but the plan would be to make a move and offer you something. And like, this is not about going for coffee. This is about really going all out, okay? Telling you how they feel, like what you mean to them, how you've changed their life, how you make them feel. And then, moving very quickly within that same conversation to, being together, okay? The way this feels with this group, I'm not sensing this person wanting to wait it out, test it out, see how it goes, or just have you around with many others. If there is a plan, it's about getting together, okay? It's about getting together, making this serious. It's about, with the Nine of Wands, stepping up to the plate and doing something different. You do make them feel different, and they also know in the same breath they can't be whoever they've been. They have to be real honest about it. They have to be sincere. They cannot move with this player energy. And again, I'm not saying that they're a player, but a player is also someone who's acting and can be fake, okay? They're not being real. They don't even know who they are. That's why they're coming across always in their life as a mess, okay? And scattered. They know they have to shape up and they have to get right with themselves, and they have to be moving with this plan in a state where like they know what they want. They're very clear about it, and so that they can bring it to you. And, again, be very clear about it. If this person was to remain in this energy, this is what would make them stay away. Because I'm telling you, I feel that very strongly. This person knows innately they cannot be who they've been with you. You energetically give off the vibe that like honesty is a must. It's a must, okay? So, to wrap up this section, the plan would be to make a love offer, seal the deal, explore this, make an agreement, whether it's verbal, energetically, but go for it. Go for it. Like, just 10 of Wands, just, release all this, whatever is holding them back, and just move with it. Even though they, with the Three of Swords, are being super vulnerable about it, but just like, this is really just about going for it. Okay. That's what the plan would be. All right. I wish you all the best. Take care. Okay. So if you were guided towards group 2, I will be doing the extended. We will be talking about what's coming next between you two over there. If you want to access it, just go to the pinned comment. The link will be there. This will be a 3-section spread. I will get to what those sections are when we get there. Please feel free to tap forward, but I will also speed up the recording. Okay, so section 1 is going to talk about what they think about you. Okay. So I'm wondering here if somebody who's watching would resonate with the fact that they've been ghosted by your person, you've been ghosted by this person, or you have ghosted them. And that could be in any way. That could be energetically, you're ignoring them right now, or, communication wise, you've kind of, I don't know, shut them out. Now, it could also speak to the fact that we are not in communication. You are not in communication with this person, but this is interesting. There's definitely these two with the Two of Pentacles, these two side-by-side energies with what they think about when it comes to you. They think about the fact that, with the Nine of Cups, you are everything and more that they've ever wanted. And it could be physically, it's how you make them feel, emotionally, just et cetera, okay? But at the same time, there's this side-by-side thinking that like this is just really either it's not good for either of us, or it cannot be. It just cannot be. We've got the toxic relationship here, and this could be that there's a lot of fighting or codependency or just misunderstandings. I'm actually very gravitated to the misunderstanding word here, but we've also got triggering. Like you trigger the F out of them and they don't like it. Now, this is not a judgment towards you. Remember, how people feel about us has nothing to do with us, and how they react to us has nothing to do with us. That's their problem. But maybe this is exactly what this connection was supposed to be about. You coming into their life and triggering them in whatever it is that they needed to work on. Maybe the same thing happened to you. But, I just feel like they think a lot about how, it's so interesting with the Two of Pentacles. I feel like I'm trying to weigh something out in my head, but I feel like it's more negative than positive. But for some of you, it could really be that it's equal, but it's like, I can't exist with this. I can't. They think a lot about, honestly, the bad times or what went wrong. There's a lot of thinking about, it's negative thinking, but it's just like, I don't know, you shot them down or you just shut them out, or, they did, or it's like cannot be, that they have to stay away, or this cannot, even be a thing. This is too much for me right now. I got too much going on. Maybe I even have another relationship going on, or you watching have another relationship going on. But they could think a lot about the toxicity. This is toxic. Their thoughts are toxic. They also, I feel like, because their thoughts are toxic, they're equating it to toxic. It may not be that that's true, but that's what they think. Now, they could think a lot about, with the Nine of Cups, making you theirs. But then in the same breath, it's like, there's no shot here. There's no chance. And I really don't know if it's that. Okay, I am hearing for one of you, they could be scared of who you're with. So if you're with somebody, they could be scared of who you're with. Or they could think you have a partner and be scared of that. Or they could have a partner themselves. There's some sort of fear with respect to some other person. And it could be that this is from work. Like, I don't know what they're afraid of, but like, I wish I could get out what I'm feeling here, because I just feel like I see this off limits. Like, I don't even want to go there. They think a lot about like scenarios that could go wrong. Like, I just feel like my mind, if I'm them, it's just, it's like a consistent thing. Like, you know, when someone's paranoid and they're just thinking of all these things that could go wrong, I'm feeling that here. I'm really feeling that here. I think they also think about being rejected. But I also think they think about being around you, how it affects them. It doesn't make them feel sometimes the greatest. They could feel inferior. Why that is, we'll have to get into feelings, but it's just like, it's interesting because that Nine of Cups is there and I can't stop staring at it. So it's like, you're beautiful. You are exactly what I'm looking for. I want to be around you. I want to be intimate with you, but I'm kind of like, I've either got too much on my plate or I'm worried about some other scenario. It could be another person, but I'm also worried about being defeated. You know, maybe even worried about or thinking about like what the ending would be like, or, you know, maybe even thinking about like the fact that this has been over because we're in no contact, and then bringing it back to life. What could that entail? You know, listen, if you resonate with the fact that you and your person fight a lot, and I don't care what kind of fighting that is, it doesn't have to be verbally. It could be energetically. There's just always misunderstandings. I'm getting the word complicated. Like, this can be very complicated. And I think this person thinks about the complications. I'm also hearing conflict of interest. But I'm also thinking too that I'm thinking, if I'm this person, a lot about something that may have even went down with us, where there was rejection or some sort of disappearance or being ignored or this ghosting energy. Don't want to go through that again, you know? They think a lot about how there's more crappier times with you than good ones. You know, I kind of almost want to talk about feelings, because it's like, I know that's that section, but it's like they feel like you make them feel like crap. Like there's this feeling of inferiority, and they don't like it. Now, you may not even be doing anything. You could just be fabulous as F and be causing them to feel that way, but they think about that. How more so than, you know, making them feel amazing about themselves, you make them feel more like crap. There could be, for some of you too, this way about you. I don't know if it's that you have this way about you, you ghost, or you don't know how to communicate, or when you communicate, it's just a little too abrasive for them. They could fear you as well too. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. Or they could be thinking that this is toxic. The two of you together are just toxic. We have more moments of feeling empty than feeling fulfilled or filled up with the Nine of Cups. Wow, this is becoming a very interesting reading. Every pile is very uniquely interesting. Okay, let's talk about how they feel about you. Don't come for me in the comment section if you feel like, you know, this is sounding more negative than ever. I can't control what the cards, you know, depict. So we've got the spiritual awakening. So now I'm not surprised that they feel all what they feel. Or think towards you, but, you know, you kind of, this is not easy, group 2. You know, like, yes, they feel the lust. They feel the irresistible pull towards you. They really enjoy your banter, your flirting, your interactions. It's very hot. It's very steamy. But at the same time, I don't feel like they like all this other stuff. in the same breath, which is the enlightenment, okay? The life lessons and this feeling of, rebirth. You've got a person here who honestly is not really ready emotionally for anything this powerful. I mean, you're maybe asking, well, then why did it come in? I don't know. I can't read your Akashic records. I mean, I think it was a possibility. It was an idea. It was a potential timeline for them to get on. But it would have had to cause them or make them feel like they were going to have to step out their comfort zone a bit, because this is not an easy connection, and there will be ups, there will be downs, but your person seems to be like wanting to kind of be in this padded room where, it's like everyone is dancing around the truth, or, giving it to them in doses. Like they're like, that's not them. They would run from that. And listen, maybe you understand that you are a person who tells it like it is, but like you're dealing with a person who's extremely passive, has been operating that way for so long. Like they're definitely with the magician, wearing a mask, wearing this suit of armor that has been protecting them. But it's interesting because they are telling me that this has actually stagnated them in life. So you came in as an opportunity, a spiritual awakening, to really trigger the F out of them to like move out of their comfort zone. But I've got this guy here, this King of Cups. He's just holding on to his cups like very firmly, like I will not budge. Nope. I've actually never seen this before on the card, but he's trying to put his foot a little bit in the water. Like he's like, I'll dip my toe. That's all you'll get from me. I'll just dip my toe. But as far as like jumping and diving in, no. So what he feels about this connection, I feel like this person does know consciously that it's deeper than, most things that they've, encountered. It's different. It's unique in a sense, but it's just like, I just feel like I see a danger sign if I'm them. Like, this is dangerous. This is like, no, this is too much of a risk. It's out of my comfort zone. I don't understand the language. I don't understand the connection. I don't understand the vibration, the energy. It looks to me like they're showing me like this person. It's like a very difficult math equation. When you look at it, you're like, F that, I'm not doing it. Like that looks like way too much work, that kind of thing. That's how they feel about this, how they feel about you. Very pulled in. Yes, emotionally, physically, but this guy on the card, he's standing here with that one hand and he's watching from afar. He's like, I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to watch from afar, and I'm going to be making very calculated moves. I just feel like personally, like there's a time and place to be calculated, but not in love. Okay. Now the circumstances regarding this connection, like obviously they could be very, difficult. You could be with somebody, or they could be with somebody, or the both of you, or maybe this is a work situation. Like there is that feeling of something around the connection that causes them to think, like, is this going to be something safe, but it could very well be, who they are as a person who's just not ready really to kind of step out the comfort zone. Okay. You cause them to feel like that. It's different. It's different. And, I don't know why they're showing me like a cliff. Like they're showing me a cliff, and I don't know if they're showing me, rock climbing, or like one of those more dangerous sports where it's like, you know, those type of people, like they get on roller coasters, like that's how they feel about this, you know? Think about people who are like, oh no, I'm not doing that. They just don't want to feel that, you know? They don't want to take that chance. It's like, that's how they feel about this. Like you're a roller coaster or you are some sort of bungee jump. It's like equated. Like, I don't know why they're showing me sports here. Now that would be really funny if your person actually engages in stuff like that. So there could be actually a rhetorical joke, you know, that you tell yourself, like, it's funny how they'll go do this and that and ride motorcycles at this speed and stuff. But like, they're too scared to do this with me. That would be funny. If that resonates, let me know in the comment section, because yeah, they're showing me something like really sarcastically funny about that. I can't stop staring at this guy. He's just watching from afar. He's like, I'm gonna really just watch from afar, tread very carefully, plot and plan, be tactful. But they could also feel with this spiritual awakening, like when you came in, it ignited something else within them. I think I've got an activation here. See, your person is actually a magician, has the capability to reach that level. It started with you activating them. But it could be that the spiritual awakening, because that's also existing at the same time of meeting you, it kind of went hand in hand. This could be actually something they haven't figured out yet, but it could also be working against this connection. Like they don't trust it because they never felt that before. Like, what is all of this? What is this stuff coming up with me? Why am I acting like this? Why am I feeling all these feelings, these different things happening to me? So they could also feel like this, just they don't trust it. But they could also, like, if you meet somebody and this is just more than some sort of attraction and you cause spiritual awakening with them, you better believe it's going to be a lot more difficult, okay? Unless they've already been seasoned. But this, I feel like, is their first time. You could be their first time, you know, really feeling this. I don't know that they have enough awareness to understand what's going on. But yeah, it really is just, there's confusion, and the confusion causes them to stay at bay, okay? Watch from the sidelines. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what they plan about you. What will they plan? Now, this will not talk about what will eventually happen next between the two of you. That reading, again, will be through the Patreon platform. But let's just see here. So we've got unexpected, surprise, unpredictable, shocking, and unusual. And then we've got truth. So confession, clarity, and revealing secrets. Let me just look at these cards and see what the plan is. I do feel like the plan would, okay, when it comes to the plan, I feel like they need to be ready. There's this ready. I have to be at a certain point in life. I have to be, you know, there's a lot of pentacle cards here. I don't know if there's this like wanting to get my SHIT in order, or, you know, it could be financial, but it may not be financial. It could also just be that foundation. I would say that this person is trying to gain some sort of courage, confidence with the Nine of Pentacles. Like, wow, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Like, this person wants to show off or something. Like, this is not, you know, you wouldn't resonate with any of that, you know, really. You know, you don't need, this is what they feel they need, but maybe they think you need this, but it's like so far from the truth. So I feel like they need to be stronger. When it comes to the plan, they're trying to become stronger. They're trying to get their ducks in a row. They're trying to get their life in order. And then they feel like once all of that is in order, where, you know, they've got a confidence about them, or they've got this solid foundation in some sense, maybe even financially, then they will speak the truth. They do plan for it to be unexpected. That's kind of interesting, right? Because a plan is organized. When you hear the word plan, it's organized, but that is not organized if it's unexpected. But I'm thinking I'm getting something along the lines more where they think if they get to this, then they can do this. So your person's not really strong, okay? Like they don't even feel like they're strong. I'm not even telling you they're strong. It's not even me telling you that they're not strong. They don't feel like they're strong enough to orchestrate a plan. So it's like X, Y, and Z. We got to work on this, that. And then when I'm there, then I'll divulge my truth. The problem with that is that with these pentacle cards, pentacle energy is like, it's kind of slow. It's not fast moving energy, but it's almost like I'll think about that later. I feel like they're shelving a plan for you. Like it's on a shelf. Like they're putting it on a shelf in their head. Like I'll get to that when I get to that. But it's like, I need to do this and that because I think they don't think you'd accept them the way they are. Or there's these thoughts of having something organized or, in place before they bring something to you. And you guys would know more than me, okay? You guys have to participate as the viewer. I may not be saying exactly what it is. It could be very different from you. You may understand the general idea of what I'm talking about. But this could even be, honestly, for some of you, we got a family here. I don't know if it would resonate for some of you that maybe it's they have to kind of, venture out, or, if this kind of falls apart, then they will, speak. But maybe because that's an independent card, so removing themselves from the marriage, I don't know, or that partnership that they're with, let me see how this goes. And if it does fall apart, then I will speak my truth. It could be like that for some of you. But again, for some of you, it could be totally different. It could just be their foundation. They don't feel like they're strong enough right now. So they may, like with the Six of Pentacles, just drip by drip, drop by drop, do what they can. But, it still feels to me as a reader like hesitation and just, we want the full, you want, I'm sure watching, you want the full enchilada. You don't want like little drops, but this is complicated. This is really complicated. Their plan is to speak the truth to you, tell you the truth. But by the time it comes, it could be very unexpected. It's like you wouldn't suspect when it was coming. It could be very, very, unexpectedly coming forth down the line, or, I don't know what this is. I don't want to overinterpret. I really don't want to overinterpret. Like even this guy on the card is like trying to balance his scales. That also tells me here, he's trying to get himself into an orderly fashion before he can give to others. It's that same thing. Before he can plan anything towards you, he has to get something in order. And I don't know what that is. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to totally leave it there. I tend to be one of those readers who just want to get to it, but like sometimes I just can't. I'm blocked. So it's like, hopefully you understand. You can see or understand what I'm speaking to. Maybe it will reveal itself, in the future. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. All right. Okay. Take care, group 2. Okay. So if you were guided towards group 3, I will be doing the extended reading through my Patreon platform. That reading is going to talk about what's coming next between you two. Okay. You can find it in the pinned comment. I will be choosing the cards on camera. Please feel free to tap forward, but I will also speed up the recording. Okay, so let's go to section 1. What they think about you. Um, so I think they really often are plagued by their thoughts. To get the anxiety card, their thoughts are restless. Okay. Their thoughts cause them, I feel like, a ton of stress. Their thoughts may even cause unnecessary depression. But I feel like this could be, you know, they're nervous. They're nervous. I don't know if this resonates with you, that this person is always nervous around you or chooses to kind of ignore you or look the other way, like he's very busy chipping away at his pentacles. He doesn't see or hear anything around him. I also don't know if this is a work situation. So, there's this, I don't know, anxiety around the connection, or maybe they feel this way about you. Maybe they think a lot about how you are nervous around them. I would say with the Eight of Pentacles, their thoughts are relentless. Like it chips away at them. Like so much so that it's like, I feel like I look forward to going to bed just so I don't have to think about you. Okay. I don't know if this is also here too, because they think a lot about a mistake that they made regarding you, or, I think this person's thinking a lot about their life too, when it comes to you. You've made them think a lot about their life. They are thinking about a third party too. So I don't know if it's that, you have a partner or they have a partner, or the both of you do, or there's been a new person who has showed up in their life, or, your life. But the third party can be an energy. It's interference. So this could definitely be the workplace. It could be anywhere where it's uncomfortable to meet somebody. But with that Hermit, it's like a lot of self-evaluation is going on. And maybe there's this thought of isolating or staying away, or, keeping, like I do feel for some of you, this person thinks a lot about how to behave in front of you, or they're thinking about staying away from you, or, because this is not a card of a get together. This is a card of isolating oneself. So they think a lot about how to stay away from you, or, maybe this is also, that you resonate, that you're not in contact with the person. So like, what are you up to? What are you doing? I'm not with them. I'm thinking a lot about the fact that we're apart. We're like not together. They think a lot about you when they're at work too. Just want to FYI say that as well too. But I am going to say another thing. With the Four of Swords, there are moments in time where they are blocking you out, like thoughts of you. They're actively trying to, and this could just be for a few of you, but they sometimes may do things to do that. Whatever that might be, drinking, smoking, I don't know. But anytime that they get peace away from thinking about you, it's just it's like relief. Okay. I think this person has on multiple occasions tried to block you out of their head. The thing is, they actually are good at it, but with the Hermit here, you're not going to fully be able to get away with that, because the Hermit is that type of card where it's just going to be driving you nuts. Like it's just going to keep coming back up and up because it's trying to show you something. Hermit's always trying to show you something. But I don't know that they've made that correlation yet. Okay. That, it's just like, cause I feel like I've got this dodging, negating, trying to pretend, but it just sneaks up on them. But I don't know that they fully have an awareness of why they're thinking of you. Usually when someone can't stop thinking about someone else, it means the lesson hasn't been learned. Okay. Or then it would fade. But your person's pretending. They are a great pretender when it comes to thoughts of you. It's like it's like, you know, when people go like this, like, hello, like, I don't know what I'm seeing here. I just actually, I don't resonate with this kind of personality that I'm seeing. That's why I'm like, wow, how do you do that? It's like someone who says like, don't you see that there? No, I don't see it. But you're like, it's right there. I don't see it. But you could tell that they see it, but they just don't want to see it. So it's interesting, very interesting. And, you know, maybe with this anxiety card, you know, they're doing this to protect themselves because thoughts of you do lead to restlessness. Because I do feel like if I'm in their head, thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to plans, or what should I do about this? And I don't know what I want to do about this. So let me just cut it off from the get-go, you know? Wow. Wow, group 3. Because I do feel like as well, they throw themselves into their work. They throw themselves into anything that would allow their mind to kind of just be focused so that they don't have to think about you. Even the 4 of Swords can be that type of card where we're just pretending, you know? But I think they're doing it to protect themselves because it's, you know, you got restlessness, right? And then you've got this card of rest. So it's like they often need breaks for their own well-being with the Hermit. Oh my, okay. Let's move forward here. Feelings of you. Okay, for some of you, I heard off limits. Off limits, okay? You could be an older woman, but you could also be a woman who's taken, or a mother, yeah? Or a woman who is in a position of power that is, you know, higher than them. I don't know. This would be so interesting if this was a work situation. And the person that you're feeling this with is at like and I hate to say this, but like a lower status. It could be that as well too. You could be older, but you could definitely be a married woman. Or a woman with children, and you kind of, it's like, I just feel like off limits with this card. Now we've got hookup and we've got divine timing. So there is this wanting to experience you, okay? Like, you know, have intimacy. But the feeling would be at this point, you know, wanting it to be very casual. And I don't know if this is the reason because we've got the card of wrong timing, perfect timing, stalemate, waiting. It's kind of interesting, right? Because divine timing will sometimes be like that. You will equate it, you know, us in our human form, we will equate it to the wrong timing, but it's not, it's right on time. So there is this constant like feeling of like, is she the one or is he the one, or like, is this person the one? But then like they're kind of going between the etheric 5D mind to the 3D. Like they're really juggling that. They just feel these things about you. Like, it's like that's so my person. But then it's like, no, you know, it can't be, because then they would show up. They would have showed up years ago when I was available, or whatever it may be, okay? They do feel like with the Page of Wands, they want to be expressive, but this is also, you know, a very intimate type of card too, wanting to express or be with. They're very attracted to you, okay? Your beauty, your looks, Page of Wands can be, you know, intimacy. It can be a one-night stand. It could be a hookup. It could be, you know, just wanting to experience that. But, you know, Page of Wands, it's just, it doesn't have the commitment aspect to it. It's more like fly by the night type of card. Now, that doesn't have to be that makes you mad. Because remember, if it is that this is difficult or that it's the wrong time, that would be understandable, right? Like trying to maybe do this, but like not get caught, or because there's just responsibility, or there's just something. For some of you, it could also be that they feel like they don't want to tarnish your reputation. because you are the Empress. This could be that, again, like that would make sense. If you were in a position of authority or power, they wouldn't want to, stir up anything in the workplace. It could be like that, or smear your name. So, it's like to stay away for those reasons. But they need more information. I feel like this person sitting here they don't know which way to move. Okay. So you've got a very confused person in their feelings. This person is waiting and seeing. Once they get more information, they may act accordingly. But it could also be that, this is an off limits type of connection. Maybe you're older. I don't know, but for some of you, they definitely are. It's like this 3D mindset juggling with a 5D mindset. And in 5D, anything is possible, but I get it. If you're off limits according to society, I get it, I get it. So feelings would definitely want to have a relationship, get to know you, be able to express themselves with the Page of Wands, and feeling like you were sent in, like very, magically into their life, or just like you had this aura around you, like they feel like you're just stunning. Empress will have that aura around her. She highlights the whole room, and you really presented yourself to him or this person unbeknownst in that way, where they tend to you're highlighted in their life as someone special. But there's the but, okay? The but, something's off limits here, or something's difficult, or maybe they just don't know you very well, or, again, it could be like what I picked up before. There's just too much anxiety, or, I haven't figured out yet here what's going on. All of that and above. So I think when it comes to feelings, I need more information about you. I need way more information about you. More time, divine timing, maybe, feeling like when it's time, it will be time, but it's maybe not right now. I don't know here. Very interesting cards. Okay, let's get to the plan. Now remember, this is just what they'll plan, or what they feel like they would plan to do. It doesn't speak to what will actually happen next between you two. So if you want to catch that, again, go to the pinned comment for that reading. So, interesting. There is a plan that exists definitely within their mind. They think about it often. 7 of Cups is here. Okay, so we've got like delusional thinking regarding plans. But is it fully formed yet? No. With the 7 of Pentacles, it's just planting seeds, and it can look like as like this. Like, what if I did that? What if I did that? What if I maybe just dropped a little hint here, or a signal through a signal? It can look like that with the 7 of Pentacles. It's just like we're planting seeds. They do have plans to kind of make themselves more visible to you. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if that's going to be, staring at you, or, trying to kind of talk to you more, or send some sort of communication. But it's like, it's little droplets. It's not like the full enchilada. It's like just to kind of test the water. But this is interesting. We've got single and we've got ex-lover. So with the single card, we've got alone, isolation, lonely, and guarded. They definitely do feel like when it comes to the plan, this could be a factor. So if they are taken, they know they're kind of, walking in like some territory here that could get them into trouble, or, you know, make them single tomorrow because there was somebody. Or it could be that the plan is to find out if you are single. Now, if it's not that the single card resonates, it could be that they're very guarded, okay, about this plan, worried about how, you know, this could turn out. Will you isolate them, or will you make them feel isolated? Will you give them more anxiety, or will you just be like, I don't know, make them feel rejected? We've got the alone card, or sorry, word here. They could also be like, how do I get this person alone? Or maybe when they're alone, I'll do this or do that, or that could be a big factor. The being alone, catching you while you're alone, or when they're alone, I don't know. And then we've got the ex-lover. Memories, the past, old flame, nostalgic. So this could be an ex-lover of yours, someone who you would consider somebody from the past. But this could very well be, again, like, you know, trying to, like, their plan is to find out, like, if you're single, you know, are you, you know, do you have an ex? Or, you know, maybe this is also, you know, a theme of what I just said here. They have to break things off with their person and put that person in the past before they can, you know, move forward with you. To have these two cards here, somebody is taken. Someone watching is taken, or this person you're inquiring about is taken, because they're very worried about their status with someone else. But this could also be that, you know, you guys are on speaking terms. So, you know, the memories, you know, the nostalgic, it just doesn't leave them alone. So then they feel like they have to do something about it. But their plan, it's not going to be direct or coming, you know, towards you very straight. It's, again, like dipping my toe in the pool, maybe sending that message saying, hey, how's your day? Or like looking at you more from across the room. It's like I'm trying to get a temperature check, you know. They do want to approach you very slowly. This is not the type of energy that I feel, you know, wanting to move quickly. So if they had any plans at all, it would be very slow. Yeah, I have to say it. It would be very slow. It would be this emperor trying to be very calculated, very controlled about this, you know, not wanting to rock any kind of boats, or just, you know, tread carefully. I do feel like with the emperor, because he's so wise, I do feel like this person is actually, like, there is a plan to get more information on you. Or, you know, he's wise. So I feel like I'm symbolically seeing him trying to retain information so that he can get an idea of what is going on. He may not even fully know how you feel about him, you know, so he just wants to make sure. That could be a plan as well too. So yeah, interesting. Let me know what you thought about this reading. I wish you all the best. Group 3, take care.